Hey everyone, it's Stephanie. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today is part 2 of a new weave. I introduced the first part on Saturday, this past Saturday. I highly recommend checking that video out if you want to make this weave, because I go into a lot of instruction, tips, tricks, and how to start it and so forth. It's very important to watch part 1 and part 2 this video. So and I also talk about the needles I use, what type of needles you need for this project, and the brand and so forth. I do use tapestry needles in different sizes, but very important to check that out. And I go into explanation why I have these yarns out like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust my desk chair for a minute. Okay, so I can get a little higher than, so this is, I started this, and what I'm going to do is, the great thing about this type of weaving, yarn weaving, you don't knot the end of your thread. So what I'm going to do is I want to work a bit more on the landscape, and I love this type of weaving because I can just adjust it. And I'm going to go bring this back up a little bit, like so, and kind of work on that little area right there. I was looking at it and I was like, you know, I really wanted to see how I did a little brown right in there. I want to add a little bit more in there. So this weave is going to go in this stitch book. This month's prompt is weave, and we've been exploring different types of weaves. And I'm going to put it right here. I highly recommend checking out the playlist. I'll put part 1 link separate in the description area below and provide the playlist. I highly recommend. We do all sorts of weaves this month, and it's absolutely fantastic. So what I'm doing is, so this is under, I'm going to go over. So I don't really do any attaching, only on certain areas. Like say if I was doing a dash of color, I do attach it. And actually, you know what I want to do, because I'm just going to go like this here. I just kind of play with it and see how I like it, if it looks right. And you can trim off like little extra strands if you need to with the tapestry needle. So I'm going to bring this down. I bring my hands underneath like so. It's a tapestry needle, so it's blunt. So when you hear that snap, that pop, you know the needle went through. And I'm just using so I'm going to bring this up a little bit like here. And I'm going to cut off like so. And I'm not tying it off underneath. You don't need to do that because we're going to be, I'll show you. So I can do a little bit of adjusting here, and I can go in and add more color and bits like that. Scoot that over a little bit. Gonna hold this down. I'm so excited about finishing this weave. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. There's so many different ways you can weave. The ideas are endless. I even paint them. So like this one's painted like so. You can make them look so different. So I'm going to take that out. And leave that like that. I think that looks good. That brings it in a little bit better. And let's see, I can take this. See, I have a little bit of that red right there. And I wanted to weave a little bit more in that, like maybe right here. Kind of scatter it. So what you do is, I'm just going to separate this a little bit. You might feel a little lost right now in this if you're watching it before you watch the first video. So I really want to encourage you to watch that first video first. Okay. So this is very similar to loom weaving, but without the loom. So I'm just going to kind of hold this here. There we go. So I'm just going to bring that, get to where, about right there maybe. Might go over there a little bit. I don't want the red to be like almost aligned with that one, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna go through here. Now, I'm not going to get too into the detail of this landscape for these tutorials because I don't want them, that we'll be here all day if I do that. If I get really into like serious landscape detail, I normally break it up within a few days or so, or work on it for a few hours. Just really depends. So what I can do, even after I've taken this off the loom and cut it and everything and stitch it in my stitch book, I can still go back, like if it's already attached on here, I can still go back and add in some more colors on this. So keep that in mind when you're working with these types of weaves. And it's like that really with any weave. The weaves, at least the weaves I've been showing y'all. Okay, I accidentally pulled that through. See, that was a total... Okay, it's still, some of it's still in there a little bit. That was a bit of a... Oh my goodness. So that's okay. But I just wanted to, you can show you can do that. So I'll probably, once I've cut this out and everything, I'm going to attach it to the page and then go through and just clean it up a bit to get it the way I want it. It really helps to like get a whole bunch of your needles prepped for this project. That way you don't have to keep, stopping and rethreading, which doesn't really take any time at all. It doesn't. I'm just going to add a little bit of a brown through here. So what I can do, like I'm just going to separate this yarn like so to get that out of my way. There we go. So did I go under, over, do like a little splash of brown right there. To avoid getting your yarns tangled, literally you can just move it out of the way, like you can do this. There we go. So if I want to add just another little row, I can cut this down here and start from there again, or I could go ahead and just bring my needle up. Normally I don't do that with this type of weaving, but I'm going to try it. So I got to really, this is a blunt needle. That actually did pretty well. Just make sure it's tight. Okay. So I can scoot this out of the way a little bit. Go under, over, under, just find these strands in the fray, if you will. Okay, so I'm not gonna bring my needle through to attach it. So do that. So that gave it a little bit more color and interest. So now I'm going to continue on with the sky. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm using different colors for the sky, and I'm going to start incorporating 3 colors. I've incorporated 2. So now, and I'm going to work on this one, add like a little bit to break up the sameness color, if you will, because skies have lots of color, but mostly keeping, wait, what am I doing? This is green. I don't want that one. I meant to pick up this one. There we go. I'm using, I'm going to use this color. So this is over, so I'm going to go under. I'm going to start up here just to make it easier on myself. So under, over. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to. I'm really going to cut most of this off. I didn't have to do the strands long on this side, but I want to keep the strands somewhat long on this side, even though I'm going to trim it up. But I don't waste any of my yarn or thread. Actually, when I cut these bits off, I am going to use it in another project that I'm working on, and it's going to be perfect for it. I'm actually building a bird's nest, and I've got a different technique I want to try with it. And I'm really excited. So once that's done, I'll be introducing that one at some point. Got lots of projects. I'm trying to remember if I gotta look at my planner if the nest was for the stitch books. I don't know if it is or not. It might be, and it might be for the cover. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure when I planned it, what month I planned it for. So gotta look back at that. So I'm gonna do another one of these. Actually, I'm gonna start over here. So what you can do if you're not sure about the order of things, you can literally bring your yarn and adjust it later, get it to where you want it. That is the beauty, one of the beauty of beautiful things about weaving like this. Truly. Okay, I'm gonna cut that off. Let me get that. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. So like I can do that. Kind of add some bring in this color. Let's see. So I go like that. So just gonna kind of hold that for a second. So now instead of bringing the needle through, and I'm gonna do this. Let's see how it works out. So you can try a little differently. So this is under, so I'm gonna go over, under, over, under. Like so. There you go. And so when it's like this, just hold you can get your needle or your finger or whatever and just kind of hold that strand down a little bit, and then really just kind of So this way, if I add in more and I just don't feel like that's working out because I didn't attach it to the fabric, I can just pull it out. I absolutely love that about this weave. I mean, you can pull out any for any type of weave. It just makes it's simpler. It's convenient. You know what I mean? Like it's, so even if I wanted to maybe bring one strip, make this a little bit area a little like wider and then bring it, that might be actually really cute. So we're gonna try that. Get so creative with this. Such a great project. I would like to try, like, do this on a large scale. Even maybe on canvas. Do some beautiful weaving on canvas. Now that would be interesting to see how that would work out. So what I can do, see, I have that right there, that little spacing. That's okay, don't worry about it, because once you finish, you can go back and just add a little stitch weave in there to fill that in a little bit, that gap, if you will. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that. So what I could do too, I can even, well, I'm not going to with this one. So I would just take this, bring my needle through up here and loop it over here, and then bring the needle down, and it looks like, you know, that's the weave. So okay, so this is over. I'm going to go under. Yeah, it's funny, I have a lot of favorite projects, but I have to say right now, this is my favorite project, is weaving. I have so many, but this has been a great month for exploring weaves. I'm super excited about having these videos available to you and to have that playlist, because you can always go back to them as well. And I probably will too. Like, how did I do that? Let me go back and watch that. Okay, I'm going to start over here. Get that out of the way. And usually you have to pay for classes to do this. But I've never taken a class before, I don't think. I think I did like in early 2000 for like altering clipboards or something like that. I did that once, but I just basically, I'm self-taught and I figured things out on my own. I learned techniques and then I went my own way. For me, in the way I create, I feel like that's the best way to do it. And then I just show you how I would incorporate a technique, or application is a good word for it, how I would apply it to my the way I do things. Sometimes I tend to be a nonconformist. I don't want to be caught up in, I have to do it exactly like everybody. I'm not that way at all. I'm very much, I believe, creativity and exploring and creating your own style and way of doing things it's beautiful. I love seeing different variations of what people learn. So what I can do, I've got 2 of those. Now I had thought about just going dark there to add a bit of that contrast. See how that's looking? So I can just bring this down. Maybe just add another lighter blue, but just really, so I can even, if I feel like I want some more of the like the darkness here, I can weave that through maybe. And if I want a more lighter over here, that would be pretty, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. It's the nice little streak of light through there. It's easier just to do that, bring it up, instead of, if your needle's not real long, it's like fighting that weave. I wouldn't, you don't want to stress yourself out. Okay, I really like this. This is looking good. Sometimes I don't get a good look at it until I stand up, or because I'm sitting down right now and I'm not too high up looking down on this, so it's kind of hard to see a little bit. Okay, so this is getting close to the finish line. Super excited, yay! I can't wait to get it attached to the book page, and then I can just look at it, let it rest a bit, let it speak to me, and see if, do I want to add more? Do I want to add more color like through here? I definitely want to add a bit more of that. Let's see. It's this yarn. Maybe kind of bring some of that color in a bit more through there. That would be nice. Okay, I need to get another. Okay, so I had 6 needles with yarn in it. I say thread a lot, but it's yarn. Because I use yarn as thread in my embroidery, so that's why I get it confused. I know, I'm sorry. But it's all the same to me, really, because you're using it, you're threading it. Okay, do that. Oops. It's going a little too fast there. Just gonna rethread that. Like, I could even some of that darker color too. I might, since I have it like right in here, I can bring it down in here a little bit later if I want to. That would be. Okay, this one's giving me fits. Okay, I'm super excited about starting September's prompt. I believe I'm starting that on Saturday, this coming Saturday. Yep. And we're incorporating 2 different techniques. The prompt is leaf, and we're going to be incorporating Jerry Bellini's. She has a dot of a day series, but we're going to be creating her dot work, how she makes them, into this month's prompt, and that's going to be super fun. Okay, I just want to make sure that wasn't one of these. And I kind of did this with this book. This like a dot. I kind of did that for the book cover for this, because I was so inspired by that. And Jude Hill, how she does circle weaves, really inspired me to add my own touch to it. So definitely check out her channel too. It's Spirit Cloth, I believe. Getting close. And then we're going to secure it. And this is gonna be a fun, it's a great way to secure it. I can't wait to show you. Because as you can see, this is so you can keep weaving this until it gets really tight and you can't see the ends of this strand. You can do that. I love wonkiness, so I might leave some of it open, if you will, like showing. I may do that, or just add another one of these. Because I actually like that. See how that, or I can just spread it out a little bit. I see I have it like that right here. But I can go through here and add up some more, actually. So I'm showing this to you on white fabric. I usually paint or use a colored fabric for this. But I'm doing this on white so you can see better how I'm doing this. So I'm just going to bring this through. So what you're going to do is we're going to secure this first before we cut this and put it in the, show you where I'm going to put it in the stitch book. Okay, let me get a look at this. See, I could bring in just maybe one more strand here, or I can kind of spread it out a little bit and then stitch it down. I like that. Let's see. Now remember, don't knot the ends of your thread or your or your yarn that you're using for this. Okay, let's do one more. Then we're going to go over. That pretty much covers it up a little bit. So what I could do is just kind of do this a little bit right there. Okay. Ta-da! So the next step, you're going to take a very small sewing needle or, you know, whatever. Probably this should be longer, but I'm not going to worry about it. You could take 2 different colors. You can do your green and blue. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to work with the green or the blue. And this is quilting thread, hand stitching thread. You can use machine sewing thread as well. Now what we're going to do is anchor this before we cut, before we take it off the hoop and before we cut it. If you don't have a hoop, that's fine. You can still do this project. You can, if you have a clipboard, the extra fabric, you can just clip it to the clipboard and have it to like stabilize it a bit. But really, I advise using a hoop for this project. Most definitely. So I am just kneeling my thread. I should have done this beforehand. Okay. One more time. It's exciting to get close to the finish line here, Ariel. So what I'm going to do is start in the middle, and then I'll show you. You don't have to start in the middle. I just do that. So I'm going to take it off this now. And let me, actually I want to start here. I'm going to bring that up. There we go. So this is very small thread. So what I'm going to do, yeah, I probably should go ahead and trim this down. I don't need it anymore. I did use it a little bit to kind of try to keep those strands secure. Oops. Probably like, why didn't you knot those off? I'm going to be anchoring this. So when you're anchoring, the lines go this way. So I'm going to go do a line through here. I did talk about where to put the lines, but I'm thinking too, I might need to go this way as well. So we're just going to start in the middle. It's a very short needle, so I might have to go through, and yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm just going to do some pretty big stitches right now. This is optional, you don't have to do this, but I recommend it so that these won't come loose. But if you're just going, like say for instance you decided to use adhesive to put this on here, you can do that as well, but I just think this really secures it, gives it extra protection. Your stitches don't have to be straight. And if you don't want that stitch to show, that shows, I like it, I don't mind it, do a smaller stitch. You can even do an invincible stitch, so by going about right here and then bringing it up if you don't want those stitches to show. Y'all know what I'm talking about pretty much, I think. So I like how it shows. Gives it a little character. 'Cause sometimes, like even in a sky, you see streaks, and see, I even went like this, and now I can't see it. Okay. So I did this stitch kind of in the middle. It's a good Okay, so what you can do, I'm gonna go work over here, or I can work down here. So I'm just gonna bring my needle up here, I think, to secure that better. I didn't say that in the last video. I just said do stitching here, here, and then, but I'm just gonna do this because it's the direction I'm probably gonna work with here when I put it in my stitch book. Okay. So I'm just gonna bring it. I do a stitch through here and then I go here just for an added, but I don't have to, you don't have to do that, just for an added. Where am I at? Okay. For a minute there, I got lost. The yarn got lost. I used a lot of hand-dyed yarn for this piece. I like hand-dyed yarn a lot. Did I start? I did. I'm kind of going, that's okay. Too funny. I hope this is making sense why I'm doing this. Just making sure. Okay. This is like really relaxing. I'm actually starting to get a little sleepy doing this. It's calming me down so much. My goodness. Okay, so now I'm gonna go like this. Now, to secure these fringes, I'm going to stitch right outside that row right there of yarn. That first stitch went up like that. Just make sure I'm going to keep that down. Stay close to that as possible. I'm going to go back up a little bit. I went down a little bit too far. It's okay. In the end, it doesn't matter really because we're going to be trimming this. But you need to secure it. And I don't knot it, the yarn too, particularly because it's this type of weave, the way we weaved it, and I want the fringe. And the way I was manipulating the yarn and moving it around, maneuvering it to add in other yarn pieces. And I can still do that, like I said before, even after securing this. Okay, so we're almost there, and then we're just going to cut this out so I can have it to show you what it looks like, what it'll look like on the page of the stitch book. Yay! I know I need to do that real quick. I might do that in a minute. Well, I could, you know what I'm going to do? I could go back and do that when it's already on the page. I don't know if I should do that or not, because literally if I start cutting this, I don't want those yarns to come loose, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and just stitch it. I mean, we're 40 minutes in already, but we're almost done. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm definitely going to secure this. Oops, that came loose. I actually have enough yarn maybe just to go across instead of having to cut this out. I might just do that. Let's see. Actually, I do. I'm just gonna do it. Well, let's see if it works. And once I attach this to the page, I'll bring more stitching in there, and that will help as well. You know, it will. Just get these ends done. Now I was thinking if you wanted to blend these fringes without bringing those colors up here, but you want to blend it through here, you can do that as well, just by bringing the stitch through up and then cutting it, and just keep doing that. That's actually a really cool technique to do, but you don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that with this. That's just if you want to add those colors in. Okay, I think this is good enough. Let's see. Super cool. Could do a really big stitch right there. Okay, yay, now we're gonna cut this. Super excited. You know what I might do is just do this, bring it through here like so. Kind of bring it through here maybe a little bit. And that should hold it. Oh yeah, most definitely. Okay, so this is done, y'all. And like I said, I'm gonna go back and add a bit more color of that. Absolutely love it. Let's take it off the hoop. I really made this tight. Okay, there we go. Yay. Now, what you can do, and I've done this, I have a video on it. Once I cut it and there's still the white fabric, I go back, let's see if it's in here. I think it's in I have different Sharpies. I had a lighter Sharpie. Yeah, here we go. And then greens. I had a dark green. So this, this is just in case. So it's like when you're doing mixed media paper crafting and you're inking your edges. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. Okay. So just be careful not to cut. I can get closer if I want. I'm just going to do it like this for now. And maybe go back and trim. And just, that'll be a good scrap piece. So, do this. Okay. See how that looks. So what I can do is do a bit more trimming. So I'm just gonna, I like to do a little extra like over and just see where I'm at. That really helps. I could just color that with the Sharpie. Okay, a bit right here. Just be very careful not to get a bit trim in there. Okay. Let's see. Absolutely love this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, yay, I'm excited about this. I'm going to use this for a nest project. And it can be wonky. See, I like that sticking out. That's cool. And you can, when I stitch this to the page too, I'm going to go and stitch that down a bit. So let me look at something here. So I can either trim that or color it. I'm gonna let's try trimming it first before I highlight it. There we go. You don't have to do this. You can literally keep trimming this. And again, I used off-white fabric for the tutorial. I would probably have I would have put a strip of dark green down and then a strip of fabric of blue down to, you know, make it look really good. So that's a trick too. You don't have to use just one colored fabric. Do your green or your browns for your landscape and then your blues. So you can just go in like so. This is such a fun little kind of trick. And I can even trim that edge off a bit if I want. It's actually cute though, like that. So let that dry for a second. Let's see what this looks like. I think this actually would look cool, this color. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That definitely. I mean, you can even just like I said, use just your blue fabrics and green fabrics and things, and so if you have a little extra fabric hanging over it, it basically looks part of the landscape or whatever you are weaving. I did that with a heart as well. Super fun. Okay, so that's that. Hope you enjoyed this. What I'm gonna do, hope you got some ideas and tips. So I will be stitching this down. I am gonna leave because I want to do this. Let's see, and leave some of it fringed out. So let me go ahead and you can glue this down if you want, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not using adhesive. So I'm just going to you can leave some long strands, short strands, you know. Cute. And if you don't want those too, you can just cut them completely down. Trim it way down. Okay. So I hope you like this video. I know it's long, but it's so worth showing y'all this entire technique. So that's how it looks on the outside with the fringes, and it really chunks up this book a bit. Look at that. That's nice. And I will have to, once I finish this completely, get this, the most of all this sewn in pretty good. I still got to add some stitches in there. Stitch that in. This is going to be the composition for this one. And finish that tree. I will definitely be showing you this on the next video. Okay, hope you like this video and give it a thumbs up, and I hope you try this out. And I do have playlists for these tutorials, so you can always go back to them and use them for reference. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I hope this inspired you, and I hope you really try this out. I mean, that's just beautiful. You can do so much with this weave. All the weaves I have shown this month, there is so much different applications and variations of using them for your projects. Okay, I will see y'all next time. I'll probably see you on Wednesday. I'm not posting a video tomorrow, so I'm spreading, I've decided we're at the tail end of the Scrappy Snippet Roll Challenge, so I'm spreading that out a little bit. The next video, it's going to be fantastic, and I think I'm posting that on the 10th. So, okay. Love this. Beautiful. I will see y'all again soon. Bye for now.